सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनामदितमस्तु महविद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our master Sadguru Sri Matsudan Sai. I am Abhishek, pursuing my first year bachelor's in computer science and mathematics. Good afternoon, everyone, and it's my great honor to introduce you today's esteemed speaker of our Words of Wisdom session, a series of talks which brings experts from various fields. And today we have with us Geshe Dorji Damdula. Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdula is a distinguished scholar and teacher and currently serving as a director of Tibet House, the cultural center of His Holiness the Dalai Lama in New Delhi since 2011. He earned his Geshe Laharampa degree, the highest form of academic achievements in Buddhist philosophy, in 2002 from Drepang Losling Monastic University. Afterward, he pursued Tantric studies at Gamet Tantric College for a year. In 2003, the office of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, sent him to Cambridge University in England to study proficiency English, where he was a visiting fellow at Trinity College. His career includes serving as interpreter and translator for the Dalai Lama both in India and abroad. As an editor and co-author, Geshe Dorji Damdula has contributed to various books on the subjects like science, philosophy, and Buddhism. His collaborations with the leading scholars from the UK, USA, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama have resulted in texts that are studied globally. He has also translated significant Buddhist philosophical texts and presented papers at both national and international conferences. Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdula's profound knowledge of science and interactions with the world's renowned physicists have gave him a unique ability to teach Buddhist philosophy with a modern twist that many of his non-Tibetan students appreciate. Sir, I'd like to take a moment here to brief you about our university. Established with a vision to foster a holistic approach to education, our university aims to nurture not only academic excellence but also the development of moral and ethical values. Under the divine guidance of Sadguru Sri Matsudan Sai, the university strives to create an environment that encourages self-discovery, spiritual growth, and service to humanity. The university offers a range of programs in various disciplines, integrating traditional wisdom with modern knowledge. It emphasizes the importance of character building and community service, preparing our students to become a responsible global citizens. Our dedicated faculty and the state-of-art facilities provide a nurturing environment for students to excel academically and personally. Sir, we are indeed fortunate to have you with us today, and your insights and experiences will undoubtedly inspire and enlighten all of us. Thank you, sir, for joining us today, and thank you, everyone, for being here to partake in this enriching session. With this, I request sir to take over.
And it is my great honor to be with all of you. So initially, I got the invitation from Mr. K.G. Mohanji, representative, Shri Sathya University for Human Excellence. And it's always my joy to interact with students. As the Abhishek Joshi very clearly explained about introduced me to the students here and the faculties. Yes, it was almost like 30, 35 years ago that I was also like you. Okay, first of all, in school, before I joined the monastery, I was in school, and then while in school, class 9, 10, 11, 12, for 4 years at a CBSE, my favorite subjects were physics and mathematics. and I was thinking of becoming a physicist. And during that time, if I'd known, I don't know whether your university, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, I don't know whether you have the course on physics. If you had, and if that is established before my completion of class 12, for sure I would have joined your university to do the, the physics honors. So it was an interesting journey, and with this in mind, is always a great joy for me to interact with the students, and particularly unlike many other universities and the academic institutions. For example, like the one established by Shri Sathya Sai, the Baba, these are extremely the precious, extremely important institutions, because that the in the first place, why do we need why do we give the education? Why do we pay so much importance to the education? This is the question. Here,
Okay.
for example, like what the Abhishek Joshi, how he explained your university for character building and human values. This is something extremely important. It is all today. The world is broken into pieces, chaos. It's all because of the lack of character, lack of the respect for the values, human values. So the point is that these institutions, particularly established by the Shri Satya Sai Babaji, and then the prominent, really the altruistic great masters, the institution that they started, I think that the students graduating from these institutes, we have a special responsibility in the taking the initiative. And what kind of initiatives to be taken? I'm going to quickly discuss with you. And I'll be very happy that I'll try to finish my talk within 45 minutes. And if I can interact with the students with questions, you edit in some of your questions, that would be wonderful. So with this in mind, without ado, I'd like to do the screen sharing. Okay. So what we have here on the screen is that where are we going wrong? Where are we going wrong? Meaning that the world, while the modern education is supposed to be creating world peace, where the individual's rights are respected and there's overall world peace. But on the contrary, there are so many, we see the crisis, world crisis, all over the world. So why is this happening? This is very clearly indicated by Nobel laureate Albert Einstein, a great genius, and he's not a religious person. He's a pure the scientist. Perhaps we can call him the father of the say the revolutionized science, which means father of physics. We attribute this to Newton, and then Newton's the physics is further advanced in the form of the relativity theory and quantum physics. So let us see what Albert Einstein has to say on this. He summarized all our problems, the root cause of all the problems, to our optical delusion, our ignorance. So he said that a human being is a part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences, or she experiences, himself or herself, his or her thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. Oh, okay. And this delusion is a kind of prison for us. restricting us to our personal desires and affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening a circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. So here, Albert Einstein very clearly indicated that all our problems are because of a lack of the vision, not being able to see things in a holistic form as one family, whole world is one family, because of the creation of the division between the you and others. So that is the cause, and how to get rid of this root cause of miseries, to yourself, to your family, and to the world, is by the expanding the circle of compassion. Okay. So I'm just quickly give you some backgrounds about the outlook of the human well-being from the point of view of the UNO. So UNO, what does it say about the human well-being? It talks about the 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and this is something that we need to to see how the more brilliant people, or how are the ones with the broader vision of the world, UNO, how it looks at things in the form of the well-being. It says a state of a complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So let's see that here, lack of physical well-being. There's a tremendous gap between the rich and poor. And this says where can be expected well-being. And the mental. Now everyone, young, old, everyone is after the gadgets, Instagrams, and then the WhatsApp, Facebook, and always going after the garbage of the internet. While the internet has a tremendous capacity to give us knowledge, good knowledge, towards the flourishing of the humanity, but we always go after the garbage. And at the end of the day, after 1 year, 2 years, we regret that what is left with me is just the garbage. There's nothing there. For example, one tends to fail in your exams, or one tends not to be able to crack the competitive exams, and then and so forth. So then you regret. It's all because of that we are being after all these. So therefore, where's the mental well-being? Our mind is being corrupted by the unwise approach of the internet. And social well-being, where's the social? Everyone is being divided. Divisions are being created, deliberate attempts to create divisions on top of the human psychological weakness of creating divisions. So where is the well-being, overall speaking? So while the well-being is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So as indicated by the WHO, so where's the well-being? This is a serious question. Now the point is that if this is the situation, what should we do? In the past, the people of, say, in India, like in those days, at the time of independence, population about like 200 millions. Now it is hitting 1 billion. So people may have physical, say, the material limitations and shortcomings, problems. But mentally, they are much more at peace in comparison with what we are today. So now those of us, particularly young ones like yourself, we are born in this era, 2024. And where can we get this treasure of joy? The joy. So how can I acquire this joy? This is a topic that I'm given by university. And the point is that we need, particularly for me to share this with the students of the Shri Sathya Sai University for the human excellence. For you, it will be way easier for me to converse with you, for the reason that your founder, the incredibly great, the master, and enlightened master, Shri Sathya Sai Babaji, his vision of the world, say the sense of equality, look at things from the lens of the, say, the embracing. So it's easier for us. So here I'm going to just share with you some of the points as to how, in this most challenging the time of the 21st century, how can we create joy and happiness within oneself, and not looking for outside, meaning that not craving to get the wealth, not craving to get the joy from outside, while at the same time we are not to neglect the external the realities. The material progress is very important. It is not to be neglected. Meanwhile, we should not neglect the internal development as well, the human values, which the Abhishek Joshi indicated that the university emphasizes on the culture, the character building. This is amazing. So the point is that amongst the students, and not only students nowadays, even the staff, even the ordinary people, we all, grade ourselves on the basis of how much wealth you have, and what kind of position that you are in. Say you have got through the UBS exam, or say you have the family wealth and so forth. So this is how we grade ourselves. It's very unfortunate. So the point is that the real treasure of happiness is within each one of you. There's no difference between males and the females. Is that not that the males are superior? And in fact, I would very strongly say that where the males are considered as more important of the family, of the community, this is a backward community. This is a backward family. So male and female, particularly in the 21st century, where the education is being recognized as very important feature for the human flourishing and development, this should be where the inequality is still what you see. And this is a clear indication of the backwardness of the community, individual, the family, and the nation. So with this in mind, everyone has that treasure happiness within yourself, within girls, boys, elders, younger, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, everyone. And the physical wealth, the position, and so forth. These are the means. These are not the source of joy and happiness within. So what is the joy and happiness? So I'm sure that many of you are in the long run, you are thinking of going to sit for the UBS exams, competitive exams, or you want to go for startups to create startups and so forth. Yes, there's nothing wrong in this. These are so important. Meanwhile, if you ask, for example, say with a startup, perhaps we can say that like Mark Zuckerberg or the Bill Gates and so forth. So finally, are they really happy? They have the wealth. They succeeded in what we call as the startups, and then they succeeded. They have reached the height. Are they really happy? This question. Then for example, say I remember His Holiness the Dalai Lama many years ago. In his public address within India, outside India, there he would give one example that he was once invited for the luncheon by a university vice chancellor, and His Holiness has an extremely jovial mental state, and then he peeped through a small cupboard of the vice chancellor, and he saw tranquilizers, meaning sleeping pills. And His Holiness was saying that a vice chancellor, somebody who has education, respected by not only having education, but respected by thousands and thousands of people, and who has wealth because of the education, the salary is the very handsomely being he has everything, yet he's not happy. So which means that real source of happiness is something that we need to inquire. Don't just follow blindly that, oh, he said it, she said it. No, don't follow blindly. So the particularly in the modern era where the education is so much emphasized, if we follow blindly, this is a grave, grave mistake. We are underestimating the potential of our intelligence. So with this in mind, the true treasure is within ourselves, each one of us. Whatever religion that you're following, it doesn't matter. You are following Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Christianity, or Judaism, Zoroastrianism, whatever you're following, is fine. You're not non-believer, it's fine. But make sure that you identify the true treasure of joy is within yourself. And don't just believe in me. Whatever I'm sharing with you, later your job is to subject this to investigation or analysis and see if it makes sense. So here I'm citing Nagarjuna, a great Indian master, 1st century AD, or the Common Era. So where he identified that each one of us, we have the ultimate treasure of happiness within us. So where he said, I bow to the Dhammadhatu, the true nature of your mind, which is where the joy, happiness comes. For example, you give a piece of bread to a beggar, and the beggar sees the glow in his eyes. And seeing this glow in the eyes of the beggar, you feel the joy. Where is this joy coming from? It's coming from inside, not from outside. It's coming from inside. What is that inside? We need to explore. I'm not going to go too much into detail. Nature of the mind, your true nature of mind, whether you're boy or girl, young or old, it doesn't matter. All have an incredible potential for total fearlessness and infinite happiness and total freedom. And this is not a story. This is not a fairy tale. This is reality. The only thing is that we need to direct our mind inwardly to see whether it is true. So it says, I bow to the Dhammadhatu, the treasure of the joy within us, which resides in every sentient being. When one is not aware of it, they circle through the three realms in miseries. This is how we suffer when we fail to discover that. For example, like a beggar with the under attached roof and the roof leaking. There's a leakage happening, and hardly the beggar has anything to eat. But imagine that underneath the floor, there's a huge, massive treasure there. As long as he or she doesn't discover the presence of the treasure underneath one's ground, one's floor, you're a beggar. No choice, you have to suffer. The moment you discover that, perhaps you may be the richest person in the world. So we all have this treasure. We are all like the beggars, failing to discover this treasure within us. So it says that when they fail to discover this treasure, they circle through the two realms in miseries. But if you discover that, what is that like? Due to just that being purified meaning that the treasure is uncovered, what obscures, enveloped that is removed, and the treasure is uncovered or unraveled. Due to just that being purified, what is such samsara's cause? This very purity is then nirvana. Nirvana meaning the moksha, liberation. Likewise, enlightenment is just this. Okay, I'd like to share this. This is something that we need to contemplate on. This is written by a great Indian master, a 7th century great Indian master, Bodhisattva Shantideva. So just imagine that, just imagine that you want to walk around your university campus, and then whole Karnataka state, whole India state, barefooted to enjoy the raw earth. And what he says that, oh, the pebbles are pricking me, the thorns are pricking me. So you please cover the whole earth with the, say, the leather or whatever, leather or whatever material, cover this so that I can walk comfortably. So this great master said, if I ask you the question, is this the wise to think of the covering the entire earth with a cloth or with the leather and so forth, so that you can walk comfortably? Is it possible? Do we have enough of these materials to cover the earth? No, we don't have. But the purpose, if you don't forget the purpose is for you to walk comfortably. Cover the 2 tiny feet with wear 2 tiny shoes. And you walk wherever in Karnataka state, wherever in your university, in Karnataka state, in India, in the world, you can walk very comfortably. So this metaphor is in a way an incredibly great message for us, that instead of thinking of looking for the joys and happiness outside, thinking that this is a problem, there's a problem, this is a problem, there's a problem, blaming the weather. Karnataka state in the month of January is very hot. Oh, the weather in Karnataka is so bad. And then the water level drops down. And then, okay, at the university, you may not have the problem with the water shortage. But in many places in Karnataka state, there's water shortage, rain shortage, the crops not growing, people suffering from the water scarcity and so forth. You complain. We complain everywhere. So trying to complain everywhere and trying to think of fixing all the outside things, it is impossible. It is like of covering the whole earth with the cloth or the leather and so forth. Whereas if you cover the 2 tiny feet in the shoes and walk, that suffices, covering the entire earth with the leather. So this is an incredibly great message. In other words, okay, all of us, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Stretch out your 2 hands. All the boys, girls, you stretch out. And then do what I'm doing. Okay, do what I'm doing. Good. What happened? The sound erupted. This sound is the metaphor for our problems. Our problems, for example, say, a problem of, I don't know, university, where you are allowed to keep your mobile. I'm sure you are allowed. Allowed, not allowed? Not allowed. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, in future, I should remind other universities, other schools, please make sure that the students, they are not being disturbed by letting them keep mobiles. You look at the Shri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, Karnataka State. So there's a role model there. That is possible? That's amazing. I'm so glad. Okay. And then when you during your break time, meaning maybe like the 1 month, is it in the month of July that you have a break? July. Okay. Break time, I'm sure that many of you are busy grabbing your mobiles. Okay. So when you do that, at the end of 1 month, what is left? Nothing's left there. It's your brain is empty. So what happened was that one time I was asked to give a serious talk to the teacher trainees. And then I told them, okay, just for 1 week, you do one exercise. That is, just stop talking nonsense. Stop talking nonsense. Stop backbiting others. Whatever you talk something meaningful. And then after 1 week, the teacher of the 20s, she came and told me that her students were telling her that if we are not to talk garbage, then we have nothing to talk. So I said, wow, that's amazing. You are discovering something. You are what you are discovering is that your brain is filled with garbage. Now, when you stop talking garbage, when you remove the garbage, what is left there is empty. It's empty. No wisdom. Now garbage is out. Your job is to read the meaningful materials, the advice, messages of Shri Sai, the Sai Sadhya Baba. Read his messages. Read the messages of Mahatma Gandhi. Read the messages of, say, the Albert Einstein. Read these messages. Then your brain, while the garbage is removed, then the meaningful information will be with you. That way you grow and you feel that then you'll be respected by others. So this is something which is very important we need to remember. So this sound of the clap, this is the metaphor, the sound erupted, this metaphor for all our problems. And these problems, they come into being by the two hands, meaning that the sound comes to being by two hands. Likewise, all our problems arise because of the two hands, like two factors, external factors and internal factors. Okay, now you do one thing. You take out one hand, the way I'm doing, and then do what I'm doing. No sound. Don't slap the person sitting next to you. Hey, the boys, don't slap the person sitting next to you. Okay, no sound. So the point is that, so of the two hands, one symbolizes external factors and the other symbolizes internal factors. When any of these two are removed, then with one hand, no sound. Sound of the misery stops. So likewise, our job is to see either you remove the external factors or you remove the internal factors. So that is up to the individual. If you can remove the external factors fully, then internal factors, no sound. And some try to remove the internal factors and remove the internal factors, just with the external factors, no sound. Okay. So with this, your sound, which is metaphor for miseries, stop altogether. Now, my next question is, external factors. How many external factors are there in this world which creates problem to you? They're innumerable. I'm sure you will agree with me. There are innumerable external factors. For example, let's say that if Dr. Bubul Chidambar, if he tells all the students that, okay, I will take you to Dharamsala for 1 week holiday, all the students. And then the Dr. Chidambar he asks the students, say, okay, the four students in one room. And you will say, I have no privacy. And then the Dr. Chidambar said that, okay, if you don't want to be with others, I'll give you a single room. Oh, I'm lonely. So what should we do? There's no third possibility. Either you have to stay with somebody else or you have to stay by yourself on your own. So look, this is a problem. If you just continue to look at the external factors, to be with other people, I have no privacy. To be by myself, I'm lonely. During the COVID, many people felt lonely. How many of you felt lonely during the COVID? Raise hands. I miss the ice cream. I miss the cheesecake. I miss going out. So this is where when you're by yourself, you say that I'm lonely. When you're with other people, you say that I have no privacy. This is a problem. External factors, then number one, innumerable in number. Internal factors, only two. Now, so therefore, how do you distinguish between who is wise and who is unwise? Wise, unwise, you cannot see that from the physical body. It is from the thinking. So unwise people look for the external factors. Wise people will look for the internal factors. So why we call those people who look for the internal factors as wise, and why we look for those people who look for the external factors as unwise is because that wise and unwise is determined on the basis of the approach. If the approach is realistic, give rise to the intended result, you are wise. And no matter how much you put effort, you never get the result. That is unwise. So if you think of only the external factors, only think of the blaming here, blaming there, blaming here, blaming there, where you don't identify your internal factors, you will never get the result. So therefore, you are referred to as an unwise person. Whereas those people who are smart, they will only look for the internal factors. And internal factors, there are only two, which we'll discuss later. Only two. You can eradicate it very easily. So these people are wise because that the result, the intended result, is something that you can actually make it happen. So with this in mind, this great teacher, Bodhisattva Shantideva, but he said, where would I possibly find enough leather with which to cover the surface of the earth? Yet wearing leather just to cover the soles of my feet is equivalent to covering the entire earth. But this is an amazing message for us. And by the way, I'm going to leave this PowerPoint presentation with Dr. Bubul the Chidambar, and all the students, whoever is interested, you can just take it from request, Dr. Bubulji, and he will give you this PowerPoint presentation. So these messages are extremely helpful for us. And say, if you don't believe in any religion, it's fine. Still, you can learn from these. For example, what I say is that, say, if you are so now globalization, if you are so keen on pizza, don't be scared. Enjoy pizza. Don't become Italian. Just enjoy pizza. Don't become Italian. Likewise, these messages, they are so important. They can be all learned on the secular level. You don't need to become Buddhist. No need to become Buddhist. Learn these things. Enjoy pizza. Don't become Buddhist. By the way, how popular is Momo? Momo, popular, not popular? Huh? The boys, girls, not popular. Okay. Idli Vada is very popular, I know. Yes, because I was in Karnataka state for 10 years. Most likely, my monastery is close by a place. I'm not too sure. There are several big monasteries across Karnataka state, and one is close to Bangalore, we call it Mysore, and one is close to Hubli. Okay, so so this is one point. The next, if the treasure of joy is within means it's related to your mind. For example, you say that, okay, I'm happy, I'm not happy. Your body is, it's nothing to do with the body. It's about your mind, your thinking. So this mind, particularly when I say mind, I'm referring to empirical mind. The mind, which anybody, for example, the psychiatrist would say, oh, you have a mental problem, or mental health. They say the mental health institutions. So they're okay, we have these people admitted with mental health issues. So this is the mind that I'm talking about. So this mind, what is internal versus external factors? External factors, or whatever we are doing here and there, these are external factors. And we are so addicted to blaming the external factors all the time. And whereas in reality, external factors, internal factors, both are important. Okay, that's one of the extremes. One is the extreme of always blaming the external factors. Other extreme is always saying that, oh, it's purely internal, purely internal, purely internal. Saying always purely internal, and neglecting external. This is also wrong. We should take care of both. For example, say in some places, the way the neighborhood is not good. Don't say there's purely internal. Say the neighborhood, when the neighborhood is not good, the people are bad around you, stay away from refrain yourself from going out in the dark, in the night, by yourself. take care of the external factors. This is not to be neglected. Meanwhile, internal factors, which we want to learn very quickly. So we have to take care of both. So you say the internal, and then the external, something happens to you, but then you regret. And some people just go external, just think of money, wealth, the power, and not thinking of the internal, the factors. You get so much of money, power, but mentally you are very unhappy. You always have to depend on tranquilizers and sleeping pills. Antidepressants is extremely sad. Okay, so the internal meaning, the mind. What is the mind? This is something that we need to really analyze empirically. Okay, so with respect to mind, for example, say I'm going to touch on what is, say the how to create the joy, how to unravel, retrieve this hidden treasure within you, hidden treasure joy within you. With money, joy. Without money, joy. Say the where you are alone, there's joy. Oh, say I have a great privacy. When you're with other people, there's a joy. I'm not lonely. So how to retrieve this treasure of joy within you under any situation? For this matter, you have to understand how the mind works. And the mind, there is one is known as the map of the mind. Map of the mind and the functions referred to as the mental factors. And with the mental factors, the functions, there are so many. For example, if I ask you, hey, the Dorji Damdul, where are you from? And you say that, oh, I'm from the university, the Shri Sathya University, Karnataka State. And then you may think that, oh, he has no idea about Karnataka State. Oh, I'm from Karnataka State. Precisely where? From Shri Sathya Sai University. Okay, which department, right? If I ask closer and closer question, and then the Dorji Damdul will realize, oh, he must be very familiar with the university, our university. You're getting it? So that way, it's about not just overall picture, there's overall mind, and then specific functions. So with the specific functions, there are innumerable functions there. When you're happy, it's a happy state of the function of the mind. Some people, they are very good in some people, they are very good in creativity, but they are not good in memorization. Some people, they are very good in they're very good in the computational skills, meaning mathematical skills, but they say the proactivity or creative in terms of the physics, that is lacking. Some people may be so good in the creativity but lacks the computational skills. Some people may have extremely good in music but hopeless in dance. Some people may be so good in physics but hopeless in football. And some may be so good in football but hopeless in physics, like I don't know, Messi. He's very good in the football, but what about his physics? I'm not too sure. He must be into football since he was in the teenager, so no time for physics. So what I'm saying is that the mind has different functions. Some can be extremely intelligent but not kind. Some can be extremely kind but not intelligent. Some can be extremely kind plus intelligent. Some can be so rude, no intelligence. So rude, no intelligence, very good. They cannot destroy the world. So rude, very intelligent, can destroy the world. So therefore, there are so many functions of mind. Of these, I'm going to discuss the five. The first one, the 5 ever-present mental factors. I'm going to discuss on this in order for us to learn how to keep ourselves, say, happy at all times, 24/7, if possible. Okay. First, the 5 ever-present mental factors, your functions of the mind. We need to know these 5. Okay. Let's say that let's say, for example, if I ask anybody, if I ask anybody as to what do you think, what do you like to, tell me one thing that you like to do in your life that would make you say okay, in other words, what's the purpose of life? I asked this question. Okay, Dr. Chidambarji, is there a way by which we can they ask this question and then the students give the answer? If no, then it's fine.
Okay, sure.
No, okay, no problem. So I asked this question to during my the talks. I asked this question. Say, what's the purpose of life? Some people said, okay, for me the purpose of life is very simple. I like to, they say, they go for adventures. Some people say, I want money. Some people say that, oh no, I want power. Some people say that, oh, I want my family to be happy. Some people say that I like to help others. Okay, if there are 100 people, and I come to learn that the students there, so here joining this program live, there are about like more than 600 students. This is what I learned. And if there are 600 students, if I ask this question, most likely they're going to be like 600 different answers, or minimum 400 different answers. And if I ask a second question, a follow-up question, why do you need money? They will say, so that money gives you everything, then I'll be happy. Why do you want adventure? That'll be happy. Why do you want your family to they say to be the happy, prosperous? Why? It makes me happy. So when I ask the second question as a follow-up to the first question, all will boil down to the same answer. However divergent the answers that you gave to the first question, all will boil down to the same answer, that I'm seeking happiness. I get happiness out of that. In other words, we are all the same. Whether you are following religion, no religion, whether you are male, female, old, young, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. Everyone shares the same sentiment that I want happiness. I don't want miseries. And if you're still not convinced, think of COVID-19. Everybody was scared. Nobody was happy. Okay, now we have COVID-19. No one. Everybody is scared. Believer or non-believer. Following Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Islam, Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, everyone. Male, female, everyone. Nobody wants COVID-19. Particularly 2020, when the wave was so severe before the vaccine was introduced. How many people died? Everybody had to live in fear. Poor, rich, powerful. Even in fact, the most powerful people, say the British king. At that time, he was the prince. He was not a, and the prime minister, British prime minister, and many countries, prime ministers, presidents, they were all suffering from COVID. Richest person, poorest person, everybody was. Even those people around the Himalayan belt, at the base of Himalaya, COVID went there. COVID attacked everywhere. So this tells us that we are all the same. Now the point is that, so with the wealth, startup, you become somebody like, let's say, the Mark Zuckerberg, and you think that you're going to be very happy. But this external factor, what's the real happiness? Let's see. So the 5 points here, how the mind works is that the mind, what is happy, not happy, is your mind which feels that. I'm happy, I'm not happy, it's your mind. Even if you get say the 2 lakhs per month as your salary, are you happy, not happy? All the students. If you say, oh, that's nice, raise hands. 2 lakhs per month is very good salary, raise hands, boys, girls. Oh, you're not happy. 2 lakh salary is 2 lakh per month is not a good salary. Okay, that's interesting. So from the students from Shri Sathya Sai University, you're expecting 5 lakhs. Not 2 lakhs. Okay, 2 lakhs is good or bad? It's very good. It's very good. Okay, some are very honest. This is very good. And some, they don't dare to say. Inside they are very happy. Okay, so with this in mind, the same is an external factor. But if you see somebody else who's earning 10 lakhs per month, then you see inferior. So the point is the object per se does not decide whether you're happy or not happy. It's all relative. But the real happiness in this is all internal. Object is a trigger of the joy or the sadness. Whether you're going to be happy or not happy is in your hand. How? How? So let us look at these 5. The first, so your mind comes in contact with the object. Let's say 2 lakhs per month. Contact. Okay. Your salary is 2 months, 2 lakhs per month. Is it really, or I'm dreaming, right? No, it's very real. So first you come in contact with information, and then you pay attention to this. Number 2, paying attention. Then number 3, discrimination, discernment. You come to know that's true. Discrimination. Then there was a feeling. Most of us, for the time being, will say that unless you meet somebody else who's getting 10 lakhs per month. So till that point, you will be very happy. Feeling is very happy. So you want the happy feeling or not? You want the happy feeling. So this happy feeling, how to sustain that? So that is sustained by embracing what triggered this pleasant feeling. 2 lakhs per month as a salary. You then embrace it. For example, let's say that same object can give rise to joy or can give rise to sadness and anger. For example, some people with whom you have extremely close relationship, as friends, whatever. At the moment you see this person, contact, you pay attention, and then this discrimination. Oh, this is a person who is so nice, and the feeling, very pleasant feeling comes, and you like it. You follow this person. You embrace the person. Then same person cheats on you, deceives you, bullies you, abuse you. The moment you see that person actually abusing you, then you come in contact with the person. Contact. Then you pay attention. Oh, this is this person who is cheater, who bullies me, who abused me. And feeling is unpleasant feeling. You want the pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? You don't want the unpleasant feeling. So what will you do? You try to push the trigger of the unpleasant feeling. That person, you try to push. That is known as, say, the aversion. And this mental aversion, the push, if it sustains. So this push, when you say push, there's exertion, there's a stress. And if this push is intense, this is anxiety problem, disorder. When this push is chronic, long term, then it becomes depression. So this is how the miseries are created, say cognitively, all cognitively created, and then it gets translated into the affective mind, embrace or push. Okay. So as I said earlier, we see that the problems, just check the causal problem. Happiness, check the cause of the happiness. This is so important for us. Okay. So the 2 factors, external and internal factors, I said earlier, and for the internal factors, I'm sure that you have the questions. What are the internal factors? I need to work on this. Internal factors, they're primarily 2. One is the ignorance, optical delusion, which Albert Einstein identified as optical delusion. And this is ignorance, which is the root of the problems. And the other one is self-referential mindset. Self-referential mindset meaning selfishness. So these two are the internal factors. Anybody, no matter how much wealth you have, power you have, or physical beauty that you have, if the person is egoistic, if the person has the very selfish, the person is never happy. So we need to really work on these 2 things, and it will give a magic. You will see the magic happening. Your joy is simply soaring within you. And this joy that you start to get out of getting rid of these 2 internal factors This is something which we have never experienced before. If you invented a capsule or a tablet, taking which you get the same joy, I would say that these billionaires will be the first one to buy these tablets. But unfortunately, with the money, you cannot buy these joys. And yet, this money is supposed to be for that. But the money is being counterproductive. Okay, so now how to get rid of this, the ignorance, is by cultivating the wisdom. So what is the wisdom? Wisdom has a cognitive, and it also has an affective quality. And meanwhile, that wisdom should have, it has the element of the intelligence to know the objective reality, ontological reality. And then for that, we need to really see that within our own mind and then train the mind. Okay, I'll skip this part. So to know the reality is extremely important rather than falling blind, becoming a blind follower. To know the reality is so important. For example, and the reality can be extremely fascinating. Reality, there are so many layers of reality. For example, like quantum physics. Quantum physics, Niels Bohr, what he said is that if you study quantum physics, and if you're not shocked by it, you have not understood it yet. So the reality, there are so many layers there, and we are never to underestimate your potential. We all have the potential to understand the deepest of the reality. For that, we need a little bit of patience and perseverance. We need to persevere in this to understand the ontological reality. And the Buddha likewise said that this reality is so profound. The Buddha taught, profound, peaceful, free of elaborations. If you know this reality, you will get a peace. Because our problems are because of the ignorance. When the reality is seen, ignorance is eradicated, our misery is gone, the peace is restored. Freedom of elaborations, clear light, non-composite. Such a nectar-like reality is what I found. Finding no one who can fathom this path in silence, I'll retire in the woods. Okay, so this is very important, the discussion here. Is there a cure to our misery, stress? Now, the stress is building up while we are all social animals. But these gadgets, they make us like a rhinoceros. They make us like the solitary person. We don't learn how to socialize with other people. We don't learn this. Because of which, we are in so much stress, anxiety, and so forth. So can we ever be 100% happy with no stress and so forth? This is a serious question. So to this, Charles Darwin, what is his approach? Charles Darwin, 2008, when I was invited to give when I was in America to work with Professor Paul Ekman on a book by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, which was co-authored by Professor Paul Ekman, who was a world-renowned psychologist. And he was actually a microfacial, he was expert. He's expert in microfacial reading, the microfacial reading. He's expert in this. He's like the pioneer of the science. So when I was with him, then I met with the colleagues, psychologists, and during our interaction, one of the colleagues said that they say what the Indian psychology says, that your mind can attain moksha or nirvana. It's not possible because we cannot get rid of the anger and attachment. And I said, why? And the psychologist said that Charles Darwin said that these two emotions plus fear, these three emotions, they are the instincts, number one. Number two, these three are evolutionary gifts. They evolved over the last 0.3 million years. And if you go back in time, it evolved over the 4 billion years. Our unicellular organism, the first ancestor of all of us, the unicellular organism, which first came on the planet Earth 4 billion years ago. And with the Homo sapiens, 0.3 million years ago. from there, these emotions gradually developed as a tool for our survival, the survival of the fittest. So without these emotions, we cannot survive. For example, attachments are required for to gather the conducive factors. For example, you're hungry, then you feel like you have the desire to eat food. You look for food. When you are, when there are threats there, then you become angry to fight against the threats. And when you see the lions and tigers close by, you run away. The fear. So these are required for your survival as the survival tools. And as long as anger is there, nobody's happy. So in a way, what Charles Darwin is saying is that we cannot have 100% happiness, 100% fearlessness. Whereas the Buddha taught very differently. And not only Buddha, many Indian traditions, they all taught that this is possible. 100% happiness is possible. Okay, so how to manage the emotions on a secular ground, on a secular sense, how to manage the emotions. So I'm going to give you a very quick 3 tips. First one is, say somebody says that, hey, how are you doing? It's not your business, right? Somebody, if you say, how are you doing? And the person says, this is not your business. What do you feel? You will feel so angry. So you look, our mind is so fickle, so weak, easily affected by words. So we have to build the strength of the mind like the Mount Everest, where the wind cannot move the Mount Everest. For us, even the words move us. If somebody says, it's not your business, then instantly your mind is moved into anger. Okay, so this needs to be treated. This needs to be fixed. How? Doing some meditation. And of course, in your institution, there should be yoga practices, meditation practices. They're all there. So some form of a single point of meditation is required. That too on a daily basis. If you do that, then you will build this. And then even if somebody says something nasty, your mind will not fall prey to become angry or lose your stability and so forth. Then number 2 is to know the reality, ontological reality. If you know the reality so well, then your mind will become very confident. For example, like Albert Einstein, he's extremely confident because his knowledge of the ontological reality is so profound. So it's not that, oh, he's very special, he's a very gifted genius, and we can't compare ourselves. No, don't underestimate yourself. We have the potential. We have to keep learning, and the intelligence will keep growing, and the exploration of the ontological reality can keep deepening. Then number 3 is the expanding the affective faculty of mind. For example, like I remember I've been watching, since long time ago, I've been watching the darshan of the Shri the Sathya Sai Baba. I've been watching that. So there's so much of love being exuded, and people, just by seeing him, there's so much joy. And if you are surrounded by people who feels joy and comfortable in your presence, you feel happy. Your agitation subsides. So therefore, the third one is to create an expansive, affective mind, which is compassion. So these 3 things, if we work on it, no doubt you will see that there's a real joy inside, which we have never got from the money, by money or by external material things. Okay, I don't want to go now too much in detail. The PowerPoint I'm going to leave with Dr. the Pupul Chidambarji, and then the students, if you're interested, you can get it from him. Okay, so finally, takeaways, 2 things. Along with the single point of meditation, say, cognitively be smart. Cognitively try to always learn something new. Don't go after only the reel, then the Instagram. It's just a waste of our time. Always go to sharpen, increase, reinforce your cognitive smartness. Then number two, keep increasing your compassion. Okay. So this is just for what is meant by ontological reality. So the one sitting with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in fact, I had the opportunity to interact with him to discuss on quantum mechanics, quantum physics years ago. And to my pleasant surprise, 2022, he became a Nobel laureate in physics. So he was one of the greatest scientists today with respect to the double slit experiment. Okay, so I'm not going to go into all these things. Okay, this is one of the places where the great Indian tradition of philosophy, psychology developed, Nalanda. And today, so around your place in Karnataka state, there are huge monastic institutions. In future, if you do get time, just see how they engage in the rigorous debates, a system of debates and discussions and so forth. And nowadays, not only that they study the traditional text, they also study science. So that will be easy for you to communicate. And if you believe it or not, if you go there, these monks, they'll be so happy to interact with you. They will not be grumpy. They will be, so happy to interact with you. Okay, so I'm not going to go all this. Okay, one thing that I may as well quickly share with you is this one, and then I'll stop here. Say as the Abhishek Joshi, while he was explaining about your university, and he taught about the character building. So this incredible great vision of your university, of the Shri Sathya Sai Babaji, this amazing vision of such an enlightened person, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In fact, I would say that these great minds, they must come together. They must come together, and the institutions must collaborate. That good people should give hand to each other, and so the bad people cannot take advantage, cannot destroy the world. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama comes up with the universal ethics, concept of universal ethics, and it has nothing to do with religion. It is only to say on a secular context, in a secular context, how to bring the compassion as the pillar of our education. If that happens today, so look at today where the wars are happening everywhere, border tensions everywhere, domestic violence everywhere. This is all because of lack of compassion, lack of universal ethics. So this is something which His Holiness says that it is because that people are not to be blamed. The system is incomplete. System of education is incomplete, where if a child says 2 + 5 = 7, everybody says yes, good, pass. Even if you have the capacity to become the second Mahatma Gandhi, if you say 2 + 5 = 7-ish, then you fail. Nobody will look at the quality of the warmth, quality of the courage, and so forth. They will fail you. This is the education system. Because of this, the products, people who are the leaders, the people who graduate from this system, naturally will not have the compassion. When there is that, how can I expect the leaders then to hold hands of each other? Rather, they will push each other, and they throw the missiles to each other. So that's a problem of the humanity. So all the students here, I would request that think of the youth leadership to really make for example, the people of India come together, people of the world come together. This is so important for us. This is for the youth leadership, the youth, particularly coming up, graduating from such the amazing institutions such as the Shri Sathya Sai University. So there you have a huge responsibility, and this responsibility is something that you should be feeling proud of. This is so important. Okay, so this is it, and if we have little time, I'll be happy to entertain some questions.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and inspiration words. We have one question from the participant. Sometimes the spiritual journey can be challenging, demanding significant sacrifices from oneself. As young students, we often find ourselves questioning whether we should embrace such a difficult path or not.
Okay. Sometimes the spiritual path can be a little challenging and it involves sacrifice. Okay. This is a very serious question, I would say. This is a very serious question and well deformed, well thought of question. What I would say is that it reminds me of, okay, by the way, before I give this answer, I like to summarize all my talks in 2 lines. 1, be kind to yourself. Before you talk about the world, before you talk about the spirituality, be kind to yourself, number 1. Number 2, be wisely kind to yourself. Don't torture yourself. Don't go for sacrifice. Don't sacrifice. Do things with joy to benefit the world. Sacrifice means I'm losing something. I suffer. No, don't suffer. Be happy. Be kind to yourself. But the second line says, be wisely kind to yourself. Okay, so some of the students after 10 years from now, or after 20 years from now, which means 2044, and your life may be so miserable. And then suddenly you remember, oh, when I was in the university, the Sathya Sai University. So there was one Buddhist monk who came to give a talk. I don't know what is that, Tibet, something house, something. He gave a talk. So there he said, be kind to yourself. Oh, now my life is so miserable. I'm a little stressed. I should be kind. He told us, we should be kind. I should be kind. Then you go to the alcohol, right? To make yourself to let go of your stress. Although you remember the first line, you forgot the second line. Second line says, be wisely kind to yourself. By going into alcohol to remove your miseries, this is not wise. It'll give you more miseries. So whatever you do, again, a great Indian master, Bodhisattva Shantideva, said that the ordinary human beings, what they do is that while they wish for happiness, they destroy the causes of the happiness as so like they're destroying their own enemies. While they shun miseries, they chase after the causes of the miseries as so like they are going for the well-being. So the point is that we should be kind to ourselves and we should be wisely kind to yourselves. Which means that don't ever torture yourself. Don't ever make yourself miserable. Whatever you do with joy for a greater, more purposeful and meaningful in the future. So therefore, spiritual life is a very beautiful life if you keep in mind these 2 lines. Be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself to become a spiritual person. Don't torture yourself. Don't go for sacrifices. It's not a sacrifice. It's the most wise way of giving yourself the maximum happiness. That is the meaning of spirituality. Thank you. More questions?
Geshe Dorji Damdul, sorry, I think we're up the time, so we are restricting ourselves only to one question. We are very thankful and we are very grateful on the behalf of university that we could interact with you. As you said, it's very important that we being youth of present century fill our minds with garbage and we are in the peripherals of the personality but not going to the depth of the personality. As you said, with the cognitive smartness and with the compassion, one can go towards the depth of the personality and rediscover himself. We're very grateful for your words. We pray for the blessings of His Holiness Dalai Lama and also Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba that our students should tread on this path and also discover and become a great masters like whom we have. And this occasion, I also take an opportunity to invite you to our institution in Mudenhalli, which is just 30 kilometers from Bangalore International Airport. I request that and I pray that you should visit our university in person and bless us. Though the Zoom has helped us to interact with you, but I feel even students are feeling there that we should interact with you in person. So I take this opportunity to request you to visit our university. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is a great honor for me. In fact, the people, my friends, when they introduce their friends to me, saying that, oh, you must attend Geshe last class, you must attend Geshe last class. I said, don't make things so boring. Class, right? Please come to Tibet House, where I'm now. Come to Tibet House, not for teachings. Come for a cup of tea together. So likewise, all of you, the students, the faculties, and the Dr. Chidambar, all of you. So whenever you happen to be in Delhi, come to Tibet House for a cup of tea.
Sure.
Welcome.